The air was thick with anticipation as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy stepped onto American soil. His destination, the Oval Office, a room synonymous with global power. The date, February 28, 2025. The backdrop, a brutal war waged by Russia against Zelenskyy's nation. The meeting with US President Donald Trump was touted as a pivotal moment, a chance to solidify the partnership between the two countries. However, the encounter quickly devolved into a public spectacle, exposing deep fissures in the relationship and casting a long shadow over the future of Ukraine. The weight of the ongoing war hung heavy over the meeting. Zelenskyy, a former comedian thrust into the role of a wartime leader, arrived seeking concrete assurances of American support. He carried with him the hopes of his people, a nation yearning for peace and security. On the other side of the table sat Trump, the businessman turned politician, known for his unpredictable style and transactional approach to foreign policy. The stage was set for a clash of personalities and priorities. The meeting took place against a backdrop of escalating tensions between the United States and Russia. The war in Ukraine had become a proxy conflict, with the West providing military and financial aid to Kyiv, while imposing sanctions on Moscow. The conflict had also exacerbated existing geopolitical rivalries, testing the limits of Western unity and raising fears of a wider conflagration. In this charged atmosphere, the stakes for the Zelenskyy-Trump meeting were high. At the heart of the discussions lay three critical issues: the continuation of US aid to Ukraine, the provision of security guarantees against future Russian aggression, and a proposed minerals deal that would grant the US access to Ukraine's reserves of rare earth elements. These topics, each carrying significant weight, became the focal points of disagreement and ultimately contributed to the meeting's dramatic unraveling. The issue of US aid was particularly contentious. Since the beginning of the war, the United States had poured billions of dollars into supporting Ukraine's war effort. This aid, encompassing military equipment, financial assistance, and humanitarian supplies, had been a lifeline for the embattled nation. However, President Trump, known for his skepticism of foreign entanglements and his focus on America First policies, expressed reluctance to continue this level of support indefinitely. Zelenskyy, for his part, emphasized the crucial role of US aid in bolstering Ukraine's defenses and deterring further Russian aggression. He argued that continued American support was not merely an act of charity, but a strategic imperative, vital for safeguarding European security and upholding the international rules-based order. The Ukrainian president stressed that a Russian victory in Ukraine would embolden Moscow and destabilize the entire region. Further fueling the tensions was the proposed minerals deal. Ukraine, rich in natural resources, including rare earth minerals, essential for high-tech industries, had emerged as a potential supplier for the United States. The Trump administration saw an opportunity to reduce American reliance on China, the dominant player in the rare earth market. However, the proposed deal, perceived by some as transactional and exploitative, became a point of contention. The diplomatic facade crumbled as the meeting progressed, with disagreements spilling over into the public sphere. President Trump, in a move that shocked observers, took to social media to air his grievances, He accused Zelensky of being ungrateful for the substantial US aid provided since the war began, claiming that the Ukrainian president had failed to adequately acknowledge American support. Trump further escalated the situation by accusing Zelensky of risking World War III through his hatred for Russian President Vladimir Putin. The American president, who had previously expressed admiration for Putin, called for an immediate ceasefire and declared himself neutral in the conflict. He suggested that Zelensky's stance was an obstacle to peace and urged him to adopt a more conciliatory approach. Zelensky, visibly caught off guard by the public rebuke, responded with a mix of diplomacy and defiance. He expressed gratitude to the American people for their unwavering support, but stopped short of a direct apology to Trump. In subsequent interviews, Zelensky defended his government's actions, emphasizing the need to resist Russian aggression and preserve Ukraine's sovereignty. The public nature of the dispute sent shockwaves through the international community. In the United States, reactions were sharply divided along partisan lines. Democrats condemned the Trump administration's handling of the meeting, accusing the president of undermining a key ally and emboldening Russia. Republicans, while generally more muted in their criticism, expressed concern over the deterioration of the US-Ukraine relationship. The fallout from the meeting was immediate and far-reaching. The proposed minerals deal, already facing scrutiny, was promptly shelved. The breakdown in communication and the public airing of grievances cast a pall over the future of US-Ukraine relations, raising questions about the reliability of American support. The international community watched with a mixture of concern and disbelief as the partnership between two key players on the world stage fractured. European leaders were quick to express their dismay at the developments. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, in a strongly worded statement, reaffirmed the European Union's unwavering support for Ukraine and criticized the Trump administration's approach. French President Emmanuel Macron, who had invested significant political capital in trying to mediate the conflict, expressed his disappointment and emphasized the need for Western unity. The meeting's failure sent ripples through the geopolitical landscape. Russia, eager to exploit any cracks in Western resolve, seized on the opportunity to portray the United States as an unreliable partner. The Kremlin amplified Trump's criticisms of Zelensky and Ukraine, using the discord to sow doubt about the West's commitment to Kyiv. The events in Washington provided a propaganda victory for Moscow and raised concerns about the potential for Russia to exploit the situation. The Zelensky-Trump meeting, initially envisioned as a moment of solidarity, instead exposed the fragility of international relations and the unpredictable nature of American foreign policy. The public dispute between the two leaders left a trail of unanswered questions, frayed alliances, and heightened anxieties about the future of Ukraine, the transatlantic relationship, and the global order. The world watched, uncertain of what the future held, as the dust settled on a day that shook the foundations of international diplomacy.